What's going on, YouTube? We've been having a man. What do you call that? November has been a terrorist-filled month, man. It seems like every week somebody's just going somewhere and just taking people out, man, picking people off. Um, Last week you had the two went into San Bernardino social service holiday party and killed 14 people. Week before that, you had some little fat doughboy looking dude going to Planned Parenthood and killed 3 people. Couple of months, you had the little punk going to a church and kill 9 black people. Couple of years before that, you had James Holmes going to a movie theater and just shoot people up. The thing that's bothering me, or the thing that's really irritating me, and I don't know if people's really catching it, is the double standard that the media is putting out there. Because, see, I catch things. I don't watch the news. It irritates me too much. I'd rather read it. I don't watch it. Because the news is nothing but propaganda now, man. It's all propaganda. It's all, what do you call that? An indoctrination tool. You see what I'm saying? And you ever notice that? I'll just say this to go back in history. This country is built on mass murder. When Columbus came over, he murdered. This dude took out a whole race of people. I don't think no one on earth has ever took out a whole race of people. You see, these homegrown terrorists today ain't got nothing on Columbus. And so that spirit he had is passed down to all the fools today that want to make a statement. But what I don't like is how the media is trying to associate Middle Eastern people with terrorism. I don't like that. You see, because, and I'm going to change the subject, but I'll bring it back. Trayvon Martin. Dude got blown away going home because the lowlife was out there trying to be a superhero and keep his little neighborhood safe. But instead of the media putting George Zimmerman on trial, Trayvon Martin was on trial. See, he was a thug. That's the image they wanted to put of him. Young black man. The media, the only image they put on the media of young black men is thugs. You had the Million Man March a couple of months ago. Media never covered any of that. There was no thugs at the Million Man March. It was all well-behaved gentlemen up there, black gentlemen, getting along. Media never covered that. See, the media only wants to cover the stereotypes. And when they do cover something that's not of a stereotype, they'll put a different spin on it. Terrorism is terrorism. This little punk went into the church in South Carolina and shot up, killed everybody in there except, I think, 2 people he let live. Media never called him a terrorist. Okay. Anyway, I got interrupted. Little punk went into a church of black people and shot it up. Killed everyone except, I think, 2 people he let live. But never once did I ever hear he had ties to terrorists. Ku Klux Klan is terrorists, baby. Going back to the early 1900s, black people were scared of Ku Klux Klan. You seen Ku Klux Klan, you better get ghosts. That's a terrorist organization. But they never used that word once. Terrorist affiliation to this white boy. In fact, when they picked this dude up, they took him to Burger King, or wherever he went. I don't know where he went, but they took him out to lunch. Now, last week, the dude that shot up the social services killed 14 people. They caught this dude and he's no more. They blew him away. And then on top of that, they say he had links with ISIS, a terrorist group. James Holmes went to a movie theater, people enjoying themselves, trying to have a good night, watching Batman, Dark Knight. Killed these people, little kids. Apprehended this dude, but never once did they say he was associated with a terrorist group. In fact, he's sitting in court and sitting in prison. You see what I'm saying? You see the point I'm trying to make? That there's many instances, and I'm just giving recent ones, is that terrorism is terrorism, no matter who do it. But don't just pick one group of people to label as terrorists when they get caught. And for you racists out there that would say, oh, well, those other people just surrendered. Well, tell me this. What that means is that me, say one day I just wanted to just go kill some people. Let's say I went to the zoo. And I went up there, shot at the play. I'm shooting tigers, lions, and kids, and anybody. And for some reason, I just surrender myself. That's all I got to do, and I can just go kill people and get away with it. Just surrender myself at the end of the day. That's the message you send out there. But that's not the truth. You see, it's something called, what do you call that? Something called a inspection for the complexion protection. I think I'm getting it right. Basically, if you certain complexion, certain ethnicity, you go shoot up a place and all they gonna do is say, well, you know, he had a mental disorder. You see, that's the only time white people do anything is because they have a mental disorder. We're not like that. We're not savages. We don't just blow things up unless we have a mental disorder. And that's the thing the media puts out there. Because a lot of times, the reason that these people do things is because they have a mental disorder. However, when a Middle Eastern do things, it's because he's associated with ISIS. He's associated with a terrorist group. You see what I'm saying? I hope it's getting through. I'm trying to be articulate as I can. But that's just what I've been noticing lately. Terrorism is terrorism. You see? And what I notice is that if someone from the Middle East is out there blowing things up, shooting people, innocent bystanders, they'll get blown away and labeled a terrorist. If someone white do something, they have a mental disorder and they're apprehended. That's if they don't kill themselves. And so that's all I got to say about that. The next time a terrorist act happens, see if you notice the same thing I noticed. You see, Mike Brown didn't go shoot up a liquor store and kill 8 people. But that nigga was dead. James Holmes shot kids and adults. And that nigga was sitting in prison. Freddie Gray didn't go shoot up no church. He might have sold a little dope. But that nigga was dead. Little chump that went to the church and shot it up, he got took to Burger King. And he's sitting in jail. And so again, media show dudes like perpetrating them stereotypes, man. But next time you see a terrorist attack happening, and it will happen again, because America's weak on terrorism, and I think they're pumping an agenda. I think they want this to happen. You see what I'm saying? Because in order to come full force, you have to have chaos. You can't. You can't. You can't pick a police state when things are peaceful. You need chaos, and I think they want this to happen. And so they act weak on these individuals, these white boys that go out there and terrorize the neighborhood. You see, they act weak on them to send a message to the next person that all you gotta do is surrender yourself. And that white people are not terrorists. Some of us have mental disorder. That's why we do it. But you Negroes and you Middle Easterns, you guys do it because that's in your nature. Huh. America, home of the free. Where everyone has a right to life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness. And encourage you to get your black behind shot. Or get connected to terrorist organizations. Because in this country, the only people who have rights and the only people who can go shoot up places and get away with is white folks. But again, that's who came over here and mass murdered the whole country of people. And he's giving a holiday. I love America. I can't think of no better place on earth to be. Shalom.